What's up, wave makers? It's me, Mommy Suna. And today we have a fun one. Is that what I say every intro these days? I don't know what's going on. So today we're gonna do some makeup, obviously, and you guys may recognize this dude. He is very high up in paparazzi. He has thousands of followers. So like, I mean, he's literally a public figure, dude. But you may recognize him as the infamous shirt ripper. Yeah, the paparazzi shirt ripper boy. The one who put on war paint and ripped his shirt on Facebook Live. Remember that guy? So yeah, it's this guy again. Guess what, guys? He had yet another freaking breakdown on Facebook Live. Now, last time, just to preface this, last time when I was watching it for the first time, I was like, oh my god, this guy's like just like straight up having a mental breakdown on Facebook. When I published it for you guys, like you all basically said like, this dude is acting, like give him an Oscar. And after watching it another time, I'm like, yeah, he was totally acting. So I think that this is going to be that again. I think that he's definitely doing all this for sympathy. This was actually posted on his public Facebook page, or his personal page, but it's also public. So, I mean, it's out there for literally anyone to go watch. I think the last one might have been, because it was sent to me, and I couldn't find it on his page, so it might have been like on his business page or team page or something, but this one is absolutely public AF. I think that he is definitely playing a lot of stuff up for sympathy, as he did last time. And quite frankly, I think the video we're about to watch is going to piss people off, because just the things that he uses as a, I guess, sales tool, recruitment tool, whatever he's doing here, yeah, it's really frustrating. Also, this is a long live, so I had to skip to about, I think it was like 17 minutes or something into the live. So what we did miss so far in the live was he was basically just telling his life story. He was talking about how he used to be like a cake decorator or wanted to be an interior designer or something. He was like a florist, and then he met this paparazzi girl. I think he said her name was Terry, so he's gonna refer to someone named Terry, and that's his upline. So yeah, we're gonna start where he's talking about getting into paparazzi. And before I click play, make sure that you leave a like and double check for me that you are subscribed to this channel. If you've never been subscribed to this channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Thank you so much. But even if you think you're subscribed, just double check for me, because YouTube does unsubscribe people from me, and every time I say that, there are people in my comments like, oh my god, YouTube doesn't do that. Yes, they do! They unsubscribed me from Danny Gonzalez, okay? Do you think I would unsubscribe? I'm Greg for life, okay? So yeah, do me a favor and double check. You can follow me on all social medias. That's all linked down below. And with that, let's press play.
Well, I, was on Facebook one night, and I seen somebody I knew. I seen a familiar face. Who was it? It was Terry. Listen, you got on her live, and she's like, "Hi, boy, hi." You know Terry. So I got on there, and I honest to God, I really did not know what she was. I didn't know what was going on.
Sure.
Like she was selling jewelry.
No shit.
And I knew Terry because I worked with her at Olive Garden. I mean, we weren't like, I wouldn't consider us like friends. Like we weren't like friends, but we knew each other, and I liked her. She liked me, as co-workers, but we were Facebook friends, but that was about the extent, right? We seen each other at different things that some other servers and stuff had outside of paparazzi. They had like a get together, a birthday party. We would both attend. And so we'd see each other, sometimes. But that was really all I knew. I didn't really have a relationship with Terry. And I seen her on there, and I was just like, hey, what's up? So I clicked in. At first, I mean, my first impression, I thought she was doing a fundraiser. That was just what hit my mind. Now that I look back, I'm like, what would make me think that? I really don't know. But anyway, I did see her going live, and she was showing jewelry, and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm showing jewelry. I think I asked what was going on or something, or what are you doing? And she said, I'm doing jewelry. I'm selling jewelry, and it's $5, and And she's like, wait, I got some men's pieces. And she like turned around, and she grabs like baskets or boxes or something. Like she grabs it out, and she's like, I got some men's jewelry. So she starts showing me, and I don't know if it was just because she put me on the spot, or whether I felt bad for her, or whether I thought she was trying to raise money for a good cause. I really don't know, but I was like, okay. And I bought 2 pieces from her. Well, Valentine's was coming up. Okay, so this was sometime in January. So Valentine's was coming up soon. So I went ahead you know, I make a gift basket or something for Valentine's, and I went ahead and bought 2 men's pieces and put them in that gift basket, right? And so, but then she was on Facebook again, like the next week, and I was like, oh. And so I seen her again, and I clicked on her live, and I'm like, there you go again. She's selling that jewelry. So then that's when she rings me in, because I had seen the pieces that she sent me, and I'm like, this is real freaking leather. Like,
there's no way. Sir, you want us to believe that Paparazzi's $5 jewelry is made out of real leather? I'm telling you right now, guys, I've had like the faux leather pieces from Paparazzi. Like, I've held them. It's not real leather, dude. Like, it's like felt. That's misleading, dude. But I guess one thing I want to touch on is like how very clearly he was manipulated, because like, I guess if you don't know what's going on, and even like on TikTok we see it all the time now too, is that just like people are doing lives like this all the time, and you know what, I get sucked into them too. I for a long time was just like watching those. If you've never watched them on TikTok, you should, because they're really fun. But they're like crystals in like a stone polisher, and then they do lucky scoops, and like, you just watch them. Same with like the pearl parties. Like, they have some that aren't MLMs that I found on TikTok that are fun to watch. Like, it's just fun, you know? And if you don't know what you're looking at or what's going on, then yeah, like, you might be entranced, dude. I mean, I even used to watch Van Tel pearl parties on Facebook, like, before I really understood what it was. Even to the point where the lady I was watching, I wanted to sign up under her, but like, thankfully, oh my god, thankfully Van Tel Pearls, which didn't they just shut down? I think they did. Anyway, Van Tel Pearls at the time was not taking on new recruits, thank the Lord, because I honestly probably would have joined, because I really wanted to. It looked like fun. See, that's the whole thing. It looks like fun, and when things look like fun, you're more willing to sit and watch it, and then you want to do it yourself. Like, I don't know, I just hear this and I'm like, yeah, that seems about right. Like, that's how I felt watching Van Tel Pearls. And the lady's name was Shelly. She just like pulling pearls out of an oyster, and her name was Shelly. It was perfect. She was meant to do this, dude. Yeah, like, and she would have thousands of viewers and all this stuff. I don't know how many viewers his upline had, this Terry chick, but I guess I just understand the appeal, and I understand how people can get like really sucked into that. It's really unfortunate, but they do that because it's interesting to watch, at least to some people anyway.
And I was like, okay, well, you know, what you got? She's like, I got some stuff for you. I literally bought this stuff with you in mind. I seen it, and I had to get it because I know, you know, and so she did that, and over time, you know, she learned what I really liked. I really liked the snap bracelets. I loved the leather snap bracelets at the time. And she's like, I got you some snap bracelets. I got you some. She started showing me, and I wish I would have brought it in here with me, but I still have the very first snap bracelet that I ever purchased from Terry. And I absolutely love it, and I still love it, and I keep it just as a memento. I love it. I don't want to wear it too much because I don't want to wear it out. But yeah, so that's kind of how that happened. And then, to make a long story short, because I've told this story before, so, you know, most of you probably have heard it. But basically, to make a long story short and cut out a whole bunch in the middle, I invited her to do a party at my house, because remember, I was going to open that florist, and I had seen florists that had costume jewelry in their shops before, in clear glass cases and such, whatever. And so I said, Terry, can I put
the way he said that,
this jewelry in my shop when I open one? So I let her in on what was going on, like what my plan was, you know, about opening a florist and everything. And she's like, yeah, you can. And she told me, you know, the guidelines to go by, and all that kind of stuff. I was like, okay, pretty cool. Okay. So I asked her to come to a show at my house. I was having some friends and stuff over anyway. And so I was like, come bring your jewelry and set it up. Come do a show. You don't have to do no presentation or nothing like that. You know, just set your jewelry up, you know, let people look at it and buy what they want, blah, 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 blah. Well, she didn't know, but I was seeing how well it sold. And I had not seen anything but men's pieces in person, just the stuff I had bought. So I wanted to see the women's stuff. I wanted to see the women's stuff in person. So she did, she came, it went really great. She made some good money that night, whatever. And everybody just really, really loved the jewelry. So I was like, okay. So I pulled her to the side before she left, and I was like, I think I'm going to sign up. But, hear me. I said, I think I'm going to sign up. But, I ain't interested in all the other consulting stuff. I ain't going live. I'm not interested in building a team, anything like that. I don't want nothing to do with any of that. I'm opening the florist, like I told you, and I'm going to put it in there in its own little section. And, you know, with me being a consultant, I can go and reorder it all at, you know, whatever I need to restock at wholesale cost anytime I want, right? She's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, that's what I want to do, but I'm not signing up right now. And I didn't. That was in February. I didn't sign up till April because that was my full intention. So yeah, well, I signed up and in April of 2018, and well, the rest is cray, right? It's just, you know, completely changed my life.
Just so you know, I'm going to be cutting a lot out here because he's basically, I'm not taking any context out. I just want to make that clear, but he's just kind of talking about his own interests, and that's not what we're here for. I want to hear the juicy details about who you are. He's just kind of rambling, and this is a really long video, so if there are cuts, that's why. Just wanted to let y'all know.
I'm kind of a daredevil, just so you know. If we would have just had time, I would have jumped off the stratosphere in Las Vegas, but we were too pressed for time and didn't have time to go. I've been wanting to do that for 2 years and ain't done it yet.
You guys, I made a video about the Paparazzi convention this past year, and y'all remember it wasn't that exciting, really. Like, how much was really going on? You had like a couple concerts and a couple like general sessions, but then like, I don't know, people had time to go to their own team parties and stuff, so why didn't you have time to go to the stratosphere and jump off of it? I mean, they're on the opposite ends of the strip, but it's like, take a taxi.
Maybe this isn't like a hobby. Maybe this isn't like something, you know, that goes along the lines of what I'm talking about, but it's like, man, it's my dream to truly be able to help people.
Sir, I'm sorry, but you're not on your way to doing that in Paparazzi. You know why? Because like what you're doing is actually like doing the opposite. You're not helping anyone. Well, okay, no, let me back up. He says how many people are on his team, and I want to say he says over 5,000, but I could be wrong. We'll hear later. Out of that, let's just hypothetically say it was 5,000. Out of those 5,000 people, how many of them actually changed their life for the better with the opportunity? Probably not many, and I would guarantee that the number of people who had the opposite effect of that when they joined Paparazzi is probably higher than those who were successful. So yeah, you got people in thousands of dollars of debt with Paparazzi. Oh, but you're helping people? Yeah, you're helping people see how shitty MLMs are. There you go. Okay, you know what? Yeah, you are helping people then. Never mind.
You know, whether that be just talking with them one-on-one, whether that be helping guide them to something that is very helpful for them or to change their life, or whether that be, you know, like I used to, my career path when I originally was in high school and first got out of high school, I started the nursing classes and stuff.
Well, hey, that's a really great way to help people. Why didn't you stick with it? No, instead you joined a pyramid scheme. Jesus Christ, dude.
My original career path was going to go into the medical field because I just, that was always a passion.
Very helpful. Of
mine. I wanted to help people, and I was like, well, I don't know what other way I can help people, but help them physically. You know, so that was one of the things I you know, that was, I know it changed later, but you know, that was my original, what I wanted to do. But I love to help people, to see other people joyful, you know, about something, and to know that I was a part of it. It really just touches me in a way that nothing else really does. And I'll probably get back around to that. So we'll be here for a while, but I think both of our end goals is to be, you know, in Florida, where we don't exactly
go to Florida and stay there, please. Thank you.
But everyone knows that I sell jewelry. And now you know kind of how I got started with it. You know, I don't ever, you know, this video is never intended to be about jewelry. It's not even meant to be made about paparazzi. You know, all of it, but it's kind of impossible for me to tell my story without including paparazzi in there, because that's a big part of my life. For sure. But a few other things about me, as far as paparazzi, well, since I have joined, since that fine day I joined Terry and she signed me up. Here, let me go back for just a second, and tell you a little funny. When I signed up for Paparazzi. I'd already told her, remember, I said, I ain't got no interest in being a consultant or, you know, doing the consulting stuff. I don't want to go live. I've never been live. I no interest in that. You know, I don't want a team, been there, done that. I've been at other direct sales companies. So no, I don't care. I was like, I just send it for the jewelry at wholesale price so I can put it in my floors and restock it when I want. That is all. Okay. So, you know, lo and behold, that girl, the next morning when I woke up, she had added me to about 5 or 6 group pages, paparazzi team pages. I didn't know what they were and I didn't care what they were. She had done took my picture and posted it all in all these groups. Like I was one of them people that I rarely, like, I didn't even get on Facebook but like maybe once or twice a week, and that was just to check my notifications. I didn't even usually scroll Facebook, so it just happened chance I even came upon her in the first place. But anyway, I was super private. Like, everything was real private on my Facebook. You know, I had everything set to private.
Yeah, like, literally what he's explaining right now is, like, his upline seriously invading his privacy. And he's, like, looking back, it's just, like, a funny story. You know, no, it's not. Hey, how about, hey, uplines? Don't do that. When I was in Lime Life, well, okay, no, let me rewind. When I was in Gold Canyon, my upline, like, didn't teach me anything, didn't add me to any groups, like, nothing. I was not prepared when I joined Lime Life, and that first day, the amount of Facebook groups I was added to, like he said, like 5 or 6. We had not my direct uplines team page, but like her uplines, that was our team page. But then like we were in like 2 or 3 other pages that were for the uplines upline and the upline. And then there's like a Fempire Facebook group or something that's just like all the consultants are in there. And then there was like a shade matching one. So it's like if you had a customer who wanted to get shade matched for a foundation, you could post in there, be like, hey girlies, can you look at this picture of this person that probably looks different on camera than they do in real lighting in real life? Like, hey girlies, can you help me color match this chick? So there was that. And then they had like a skin education group, like skincare education or something, where like, I don't know, they would just discuss the skincare products and shit like that. I don't know. But it was a lot and it was so overwhelming. And they all do this to you. It's like culture shock, dude. It's like, whoa, what do I do? And even like, I remember doing that. I remember asking my upline, I was like, so what do I do now? And she's like, well, if you go into the back office, there's like all these documents and stuff, basically like training. Like when they were like, yeah, we train you, all this stuff. My training was going into the back office and just reading a bunch of shit. And guys, I stopped reading after like 1 document because it was so boring. My upline didn't teach me anything. They were just like, oh yeah, go read this thing. Okay. But yeah, it gets really overwhelming. And then they throw all these documents at you. And it's like, what am I supposed to do with these?
What on God's green earth is she doing? Like, I done told her that I didn't want to be doing all this. I don't know why she's adding me to all this stuff I don't want to be added to. And like, she's very lucky, maybe I am too, that I didn't start removing myself from all this. Like, I text her, or maybe she texts me, I don't even know, but we had a conversation at some point where she, you know, was like, hey, I added you to these groups, these are your uplines, you know, blah, 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 blah. And me being like the nice person and just can't be mean. I was like, okay. So I just was like, whatever. But anyways, at some point or another, I'm so glad, because it was such a blessing that she did that, because at some point or another, I don't even know when, and I don't even know what the topic was, but all I know is I seen a woman.
Hold on. It was such a blessing that she deliberately crossed the line that I had set. I said I didn't want to do all this shit, and she did it anyway. What a blessing. She invaded my privacy. What a blessing. Yeah, for you, maybe, Mr. Thousands of people in his downline, but like, it's like, even after they recruit you, no doesn't mean no.
But I seen her live, and her name is Miss Erica Alexander Cole. I know a lot of you guys absolutely love her for good reason. But she was live in her team page. And, you know, I got notified because I was now in the team page. And so anyway, I was doing something in the kitchen, whatever. Totally not even really paying much attention. I clicked on the video and I just set the phone down. I could hear her, but I wasn't looking at her. I was listening to it, and she said some things that really caught my attention. And I was like, say what? She actually was talking about income.
Go figure.
And how much money some of these people were making with paparazzi. which I just joined. And I'm like, the jewelry's $5. Like, there's no way.
Don't act like you don't know what an upline is or like the compensation plan. Don't act like you don't know what that shit is, dude. He literally said like a couple minutes ago, like, I'd been in other direct sales companies. Okay, so you should know how they work, right? You should know that if you make it up to the top of these businesses, these organizations, these pyramids, then yeah, you're gonna make a shitload of money. But it's, for most people, it's a pipe dream. He is the 1% that breaks through that shit. Don't know how he did it. Mostly based on luck, probably, if I had to guess, though.
Like, what? Did she just say that much money? Like, I was like, oh. Okay, so anyway, if you're interested and you want to know what other consultants make in the company, the income disclosure statement is linked in my description. So
their income disclosure statement is bullshit, by the way. I mean, I haven't looked at a recent one, but I remember when they first released it, it didn't even include the jewelry sales that people were making themselves, like going live on Facebook. Like, obviously, because Paparazzi doesn't track that. Not yet, anyway. I still think they will. But anyway, no, they don't track that. So all it was like uplines, basically, like making bonuses. So it was like a income disclosure statement of the bonuses that uplines were making. Yeah, so it was, maybe they changed it since then, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's still fairly similar because Paparazzi's just sketchy as hell. I shit you not, if those people, the people who like didn't have teams, if their income was included in there minus what they spent on their inventory, you would not have nearly as high of averages as the Paparazzi income disclosure statement shows. Half of their income, and then like by extension half of the way the company works, is not even included in it. And all those uplines up there, they make money off of people buying inventory, not off of what they sell, but what they personally buy. And it's messed up and it's a pyramid scheme. Okay.
I was like, what? Dang. And she said what rank she was, and I was like looking, and I called Terry, and Terry actually came over to my house at some point, and we sat down at the dining table because I was like, can you explain this graph to me, this compensation plan thing? Because, you know, here I am thinking, I'm like, this don't add up. I mean, $5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's $5.
Right, the money that you make doesn't come from actually selling the jewelry. It comes from recruiting people. It's a pyramid scheme.
Like, how? So anyway, she started explaining everything to me. She sat down and she explained it out like a good sponsor does. And something in me just clicked. Like, whew. Like, I mean, went off. All the fireworks went off. All at one time. And I was like, that's all I gotta do? She's like, uh-huh. Okay. So anyways, needless to say, I made her come go live with me. And I truly do mean that. I was scared to death to go live. You would never, good Lord, you'd never know that now, but I was scared to death to go live on Facebook. I never went live on Facebook. I just was. And so yeah, and I'll get back to that in just a minute, but you know, I made her come go live with me, and I made her show the first 2 or 3 pieces. I was like, I was so nervous. I was so scared. I was shaking.
Clearly, like, he's gotten over that fear, right? But that's not the average thing for people. A lot of people have that same reaction, just like terrified to go live, terrified of public speaking, terrified of putting yourself out there like that for just anyone to watch. He's one of the lucky ones that I guess it wasn't that big of a fear, that he was able to, you know, like actually get over it. It's not reality for a lot of people. Like, public speaking is just like a lifelong fear for people. I used to be in a band, guys. If you didn't know, we were called The Takeover. We're on Spotify. We don't make music anymore, and we're not making music again because the people in that band, no, I won't work with them again. But we used to play local shows a lot, maybe like once a month. It was kind of one of those things where, you know, stage fright. I would be super nervous like the entire day, just like anxiety, going freaking nuts, man. Like to the point where it was like affecting my body, like physically. Like I call them the pre-show shits because like I just couldn't stop pooping. No, seriously though. It only happened happened on show days because I was nervous. My anxiety was through the roof. And guys, we had probably like 15, 20 shows, and that never went away from me. I mean, it went away once you got on the stage, but like, you know, you get out there and then you just deal with it. You just do your thing, and then it's not so bad anymore once you get out there. But it's like that first step going from the green room onto the stage every time. It was really scary. My heart was always pounding. I was always having an anxiety attack in the green room. There was one time, oh my God, we were opening for this band called Chapel. If you don't know them, they're amazing. You should go listen to them. We opened for them again. They're really, really cool people, but they make like really good music. I love their music. So like, this was the first time we opened for them. And so it was the first time I'd met them. And I'm like, I want to make a good impression, but I was sitting in the back having a fucking anxiety attack. And this was the worst one I had ever had. And maybe it was because I wanted to impress them, right? Because they were just sitting there watching, dude. I was about to throw up, dude. My band is like playing the intro and shit. We had like a little intro that was like 45 seconds maybe. And I'm like bent over, like trying not to throw up. And the drummer, she's like, yeah, she's a female drummer. I love female drummers. It's amazing. But she's like, are you okay? I'm like, oh yeah, I think my blood sugar's low. She's like, do you have diabetes? I'm like, no. But then like I forced myself out there and then it was okay and I got through it. But I'm telling you, that whole long stupid story is just to explain that for some people, it doesn't matter how many times you do something, it's still scary. And I feel like actually by the time we played our last show, it got worse. It was just getting progressively worse every time I would play another show. Anyway, all of this is to say that this guy's like, I used to be so scared, but now I'm not. Look at me now. Like, I'm not scared of anything on Facebook Live, blah, blah, blah. But you're setting that expectation that people are just gonna like, okay, I'm just gonna face my fear and get over it and I'll be fine. Doesn't work like that for everybody.
I've had the ability to build an amazing team of, as of today, 5,300 royalty bling bosses.
5,300.
My team, royalty bling bosses, and there's 5,300 of us. So that's daunting, to say the least. But after joining, I didn't do anything for the first month. I did not. That whole month of May, I didn't do nada. Well, part of it was because we were in a shipping delay and I had to wait 3 weeks for my kit, but I didn't do anything.
An MLM with shipping delays? Whoever heard of that? That's like so rare. I'm joking. They all have that like all the fucking time. And they also are always like sold out of all their products too. So that's a thing.
So yeah, I didn't do anything that first month, but I started on that second month that after I joined, I started, so in June, I got busy, baby. Like I figured out what I needed to do. I figured out what I need to do to rank. And I was looking at the compensation plan and I was like, oh, okay, and if you do this and you do this and da-da-da-da-da, like...
he's going live on his personal Facebook page, like I mentioned to you guys earlier. Like, he's not in a paparazzi team page right now. So it's like, it's entirely possible that people who aren't in paparazzi, who know nothing about paparazzi, are watching him right now on this live. He's like explaining people can make so much money, blah, blah, blah. But when he has to go into the details, he literally says blah, 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 and just like skips over it. And it's like, no, hey, actually, could you please be a doll and explain to us, those of us who don't know, maybe we want to join your team. How do you make your money? How is that? He won't say that out loud. Why would he? Because he doesn't want to admit to people how he makes his money. You and I are sitting here looking at each other in each other's eyeballs, and we know how he makes his money. Very obvious how he makes his money, huh? He swindled 5,000 people into being in his freaking downline, man, and now he makes money off of all of their jewelry purchases and not their sales. Anyway, he won't say that out loud, but that's the truth. Oh, I make all this money, and I was figuring out how to do it. It was just blah, blah, blah. No, what is the blah, blah, blah? Because the rest of us want to know how to make money. You're rich? You're rich AF? Tell me how to be rich.
And that's what we're gonna do. And just to let you know, that ain't ever stopped. Like, we still go live together, we still sell jewelry together, we still have fun together, and we all making money in the process. So anyway, but I was working the business by myself, oh God, for quite a while, and somewhere in there, Miss Nancy come into play. And within 6 months, I hit elite, which I didn't know at the time, but that was the top 0.15%, or whatever it is. It was the 1% of the company.
0.15% is not the top 1%. That is the top 1/10 of 1%. A little over 1/10 of 1%. Yeah, okay, congratulations on making it up there. There are not very many people who do that, dude. And actually, I was talking to one of my contacts today who knows a lot about paparazzi, and he was literally telling me, like, because here's some paparazzi tea, I guess, and I haven't really looked far into this, but I'm curious, and if it brings up anything interesting, I'll let you guys know about it. But basically, one of paparazzi's elite impressionistas, jet setters, I don't know, quit and went to a new MLM called Nice and Bella, which I'd never heard before. Left paparazzi, was at the tippity top, one of, I think he said one of 5 people, if not one of 3 or something like that, or at the top. Yeah, she just quit paparazzi and now everyone is freaking out. So that's what's going on in paparazzi right now. I'll have to look into all that. But yeah, while he was telling me all that, he was like, there are not very many people at the top. And so when he says like he was like the 0.1/10 of 1% or whatever, yeah, we're talking out of the thousands of people. Like, they probably still have over 100,000 distributors. But yeah, it's very prestigious, and you have to really get lucky, and you have to incessantly pester people to join your team, and you have to put all your morals aside and lie to people and all those things. So yeah, he did that, and that's how he got to the top.
That is absolutely nuts to me. And now today, I'm a jet setter. If you don't know what that is, there's different ranks in paparazzi, and it all goes off your volume, your team's volume, your overall organizational volume. And that is 11 ranks up there.
Hang on. Okay, wait. He said he's a jet setter. I'm trying to find a list of like all the paparazzi ranks, but it's really hard to find because, okay, so what my contact told me was, so there's jet setter, and then I think there's impressionista above that. That used to be, I might be getting these mixed up, but that he said that I'm pretty sure that used to be the top rank. And then they recently made another one. 2 people are at the top rank. Iconic is the top. So there's 2 iconics in paparazzi. And then he said, I think 4 impressionistas. And then I want to say jet setter is under that. And he's got freaking 5,000 people on his team. That's wild. Only 2 people at the top. Can you believe that? Sorry to get hung up on that. I guess it really wasn't that important. I was just remembering that was a conversation I had today. Okay.
That was my dream. That was my dream goal. Matter of fact, it's so funny that I just mentioned that because I didn't even think about this. But the very night that I was on the phone with Terry and we was talking about how this all works, and we're gonna make this work, and we're gonna do it, and talking about the compensation plan. That very night we had that phone call for God knows how long. It was a long phone call. We was excited. I told her, I said, there's just something about that jet setter. I don't know, that just the word jet setter, it just rings a bell. Like, I don't know, there's something about that rank. So I was like, I don't know, but then in that day, I set that as my goal. Like, if I can accomplish that, like, I'm there. Like, that's it. I'm there. Like, I have done it. Like, I've done the thing. And so I was able to do that. So with the help of my amazing team, man, all of them, like, it's just amazing to me. I absolutely adore my team. Listen, I just told them yesterday, like, y'all don't even know, or it was the day before yesterday. Something like that. I don't think it was yesterday. Anyway, I told him, I was like, y'all really don't know. Like, I really do. But there are several ranks in paparazzi. You got consultant, star consultant, director, premier director, executive director, producer, executive producer, premier producer, or premier producer, then executive producer, and then fashionista, then A-lister, maven A-lister, and then jet setter. Boom. That's a lot.
Okay, wait. So this is why paparazzi gets confusing. Let me finish my lipstick real quick. But so paparazzi has ranks, and then they have like life of the party, which also has its own ranks. And then I think there's one more even. I don't even know. So I'm like, how do these people keep up with it? Paparazzi is this dude's life, and he even had to take a minute to think about it.
So I was able to do all of that. It just is insane. It's insane. But anyways, let's get off of that. But I am a 3-time, almost 4. Just haven't been announced yet. But 3-time, almost 4-time 6-figure earner. That'll be 4 years in a row. What else? 2-time black diamond, 2-time diamond, life at the party. I have to explain that in another video. That goes off your personal volume, so what you're doing with your customers and your jewelry sales.
So yeah, personal volume. Literally, so from what I understand, life of the party, sorry to dwell on this, but like life of the party is based on how much inventory you buy. Doesn't matter how much of it you sell, dude. Just how much you buy. If you guys remember Tracy Reed that I've had on the channel before a few times, when she told me, you know, she was $200,000 in debt after leaving Paparazzi, but she was like the top life of the party because she had bought so much inventory. Meanwhile, she's $200,000 in debt. So it doesn't really mean anything, you know, it just means that you buy a lot of inventory. But so if that's your personal volume, then maybe there's other ranks for like your group volume too. I don't know, dude. There's ranks all over the place in Paparazzi. It gets really confusing.
I say this with all humility, but I am now, and have been for a while, and still am somehow, I don't even know, but I am Paparazzi's highest ranking male consultant in the history of the company. And that's just insane to me. But that is what made me want to do this. Some of my fears before I ever joined, or when I first joined, both, is one of my fears is I was a male. I was a guy. But two, I was scared to going live. I think we've already established that. I think Terry could probably pretty much tell by the 15 Dr. Peppers I drank that night because I was so nervous. Yeah, I was scared to death. Like, you may not know it now because going live has become second nature to me. I had a big fear of public speaking too, okay? I'll never forget, I was definitely scared of the product. I wasn't knowledgeable of my product. I grew up, you know, in the South, the backwoods, redneck, and men did not wear jewelry. So I also grew up in a religious environment, which was great, but
Was it?
You know, we didn't really wear a lot of jewelry, you know, if any. About the extent of it was watching a wedding band, you know what I'm saying? So it just, you know, that was kind of my nature. I didn't know, and you know, I knew there was jewelry in stores, but, you know, you can't miss something you never had. And when I go in stores, you know, the jewelry sections was just invisible to me. I mean, I just wouldn't look at them. I would, you know, not because I wanted to and I just couldn't. I wasn't allowed to. None of that. It was just, I didn't care nothing about it. Like, I just didn't have no, you know, didn't care nothing about no jewelry. To be quite honest with you, you might laugh, but I'm gonna tell you, when I first went live, I didn't know what no lobster claw clasp was. Not a clue. The clasp part made sense. But
I don't know what that is either.
I don't know what the lobster is supposed to mean. I had never heard of an earring called a fish hook earring. I'd never heard of that. Like, none of my siblings had pierced ears. Like, you know, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about earrings. I don't see a fish hook. Anyway. So I had no idea what a moonstone was. This is real funny. The very first time somebody ever asked me to show them, or asked if I had a moonstone or something like that, I was like, I thought for a second, I'm like, oh yeah, I got that. I went over there and I grabbed a bracelet that had beads on it, and the beads were gray and had craters all over them, just like the moon. Right? Stands the reason that bead that looks just like the moon is named after the moon and is called a moonstone, right? Nope, it's a lava bead.
Is anyone else getting kind of uncomfortable the way he's speaking? I forget what it's called. Is it AAVE? It means what I thought it did. I didn't want to say it and be wrong. African American Vernacular English. What he just did, his little spiel, goes beyond like a country boy, you know? Sometimes the two can intertwine a little bit, but like this one was very obviously AAVE. If no one else feels that way, then sorry for bringing it up, but like I feel like that was like too much. A lot of what he says is too much in that sense, but like it's not charming, it's not cute. I'm like, why are you doing that? So
yeah, I kind of like an idiot sometimes. I had to learn a lot. I had to watch a lot of other consultants, a lot of other people to learn. I had to learn the lingo. I had to learn the language of jewelry. I had to learn what all these different things meant and what they were. I did not know. So I was scared to death. I'm gonna look like an idiot. Somebody gonna ask me a question that I won't know the answer to, and I'm gonna look like an idiot again. And I don't know what to do. I'm gonna say something wrong, and it's not even gonna be right. And then everybody's gonna be laughing at me. I'm gonna just see laughing faces going up like they are right now, and all the things.
All the things. It's not funny. Why are there so many people laughing, dude? Like, I don't get it. Why do people think this is funny? It's not. It's gross.
But I'm gonna tell you something. I conquered every single one of my fears. And some of my fears that I had fears about, I didn't even need to be fearful about it. I didn't need to be fearful about being a man when I realized that, you know what? This is a men's industry too. I overcame my fear going live. I went live and ended up loving it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to go live all the time. And so I started going live all the time. Okay. And I started like recruiting people on here and teaching them how to go live too. It's educational. It can be learned. Okay. So, you know, it's kind of like poop, poop out the window. No excuses. You know, it's just kind of one of those things.
I mean, there are some pretty good excuses I can think of for like not wanting to go live. Like fear of public speaking, like this guy said. Yeah, we get it, dude. You overcame your fear. Not everyone else can.
But I want to say this. I told you I had a fear of public speaking.
Oh, here we go.
I told y'all that when I started this video, I was nervous because I don't do this kind of speaking very much. And so on Taylor's story, I'm trying to savor this last little bit.
Just go get more water.
I'm going to tell you a story about when Terry challenged everyone to tell their why. God. She didn't only post that on her team page. She texted me about it.
Oh, so she was an overbearing upline. That was the worst, dude. When I was in Limelight, sorry to keep bringing it back to that, but that's where I have most of my MLM personal experience. My upline, so not my direct upline, her direct upline, would give us monthly phone calls and be like, what are your goals for this month? How can I help you get there? And like, for me, I'm like, I just want to be active. And what active is like, I think you had to have, I want to say like 300 PV a month, which was dollar for dollar. So you would have had to make $300 in sales, which I guess technically, like with Limelight, it really would only have to be like 5 or 6 sales in a month, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's because everything is so overpriced. But straight up, I dreaded those calls every month because there was actual guilt there. And I really just felt like a fucking failure every month when it would come around and be like, hey, upline, this is the month I'm gonna go for active. And it really, like, I didn't have a team, so it didn't matter if I was active or not. The only thing it mattered was like if you had a team, you can only make commissions off of their sales if you're active, meaning making $300 worth of sales yourself, or you know, you could purchase that 300 PV a month, which I know a lot of people were doing. Anyway, yeah, I hated it because it just made me feel like a failure. And you know what? That guilt might work for some people, but it didn't work for me. I did not like the feeling of being told that I need to do better at this thing that made me really uncomfortable. So just to think of having an upline like text you, be like, hey, make a Facebook post about your why. What is your why? Ugh, gross, man. Like, that would drive me nuts. That would be the moment I quit, I think.
And I told her, I was like, I don't have no why. I don't know why. I don't really know what that means. But she's like, well, you can go in there and you can tell everybody, you know, why you do what you do. And I'm like, for money? Well, I do it for money. I didn't have a why.
At least he admits it.
She's like, you know, I challenge you, you know, you gotta do it. I was like, I ain't doing no video. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing that. Actually, a video just like I'm doing right now. I said, I wasn't doing it. Something happened to me. It really wasn't that night. It was the next morning. I woke up and I may get a little serious with you.
He's gonna get really serious, guys.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna go grab some water real quick. Don't leave.
I'll be cutting this part out.
So, thank you for waiting for me. I'm so sorry. What was I saying? See, I told you I had to stay on track here. Okay, so Terry challenged her team. I was part of that team to go live and talk about their story. So something happened. Hey, something happened that next morning when I woke up. Like, some of you may understand what I'm meaning, what I'm saying, what my experience was. Some of you might understand it. Some of you might not, and that's okay. I woke up and I felt like the first thing on my mind was that video. That video. I actually said I wasn't doing no darn video. I just felt like a heavy feeling that I needed to do this video. I'm like, I ain't doing that video. Like, I was like battling with myself, battling with my conscience, battling with the Lord, whatever it was that day. I don't even know. But my heart just began to race.
That's anxiety.
Crazy. I was like, why am I feeling so like anxious, like anxiety, like, ooh, like, you know, like my heart's racing and I just feel like nervous, like I'm about to walk on a stage or something in front of 1,000 people. Like I just had that feeling. And I could not get that out of my mind. I just felt with every fiber in my being that I needed to do that video. And I was like, I don't even know, like, okay, God, but what am I supposed to say? Like, you know, what am I'm supposed to do a video, but I don't even know what to do. So, well, I fought it for about half a day.
That's it.
I cried at one point, like I didn't know what was going on.
That's
like,
so dramatic.
I just gotta do this. It was just an urge that wouldn't leave me alone. I couldn't rest. No, God, I was miserable, and I was like, I got to do this. And it couldn't have been anything but God, I'm gonna tell you, because I never had nothing made me feel that way. And I'll tell you how I know it was.
Maybe give yourself some more credit because I can tell you it wasn't what you thought it was. Even though he's gonna give us an excuse and be like, this is why I think it was God. Guarantee it wasn't. For many reasons. But sir, give yourself some more credit, dude. You got over your fear by yourself. You found it within yourself to go get on that Facebook Live and scam people. That was all you, baby.
I went live and I didn't have no notes. I didn't have no agenda. I literally was just like, the words just got to come to me because I don't really know what I'm doing. I'd never done anything like that before in my life, and I definitely never made myself vulnerable and was emotional in front of anybody. Okay, so that was, you know, new for me, but I went live. I hit that button and I did it with faith, knowing that I got to do this. You know, and I told everybody, like, I'm probably gonna sound crazy. I'm probably gonna sound silly. You're probably gonna think I'm a lunatic, but, you know, I wanted to tell you, you know, why I do what I do. And it wasn't until that day that I found my why. It wasn't until that moment that I found why, that I truly looked down deep and found out what I actually want. And that moment single-handedly it truly changed me. Changed my life mentally. It just changed me. And about halfway through that video, when I had said all the things I needed to say, I felt just like I could take a deep breath again. I had bawled my eyes out. I was squalling. I was crying. All the things while it was live, which was just not me. But I just felt just a burden lift off me. I felt like I could breathe. Like I just was like, and it was at that moment that I knew, and I actually verbally said to everyone watching that day, I said, I don't know who you are. I do not know your name. I don't know anything about you. And it may be more than one of you. It may not be any of you. But
don't cry.
Whatever I was supposed to say, whatever you were supposed to hear from me, because I have been so heavy to come in here and talk to you. And I didn't even know why I was supposed to talk to you. I didn't even know what I was supposed to say. But I was, and I just gave in and I did it. And I don't know who you are. I don't know what it is I said. But whoever you are, and you're watching me, whoever needed to hear what I was supposed to say has heard it, because I feel amazing. I'm like, I just feel so much better. And I knew, I'm sorry, I'm a little bright. I knew that I had did what I was supposed to do. And I'm telling you right now, that month, like, I had 14 people join me on my journey. And we had so much fun.
Okay, there's a lot here. Let's unpack this. You know what this sounds like to me? And no, I'm no psychological professional or whatever you want to call it. I think I'm like very perceptive to human nature. So I could be wrong here. I'm just spitballing, but here's what I think. First of all, did he ever say it? What is his why? At first he said money, and like I think that's the definite truth. He's like, let me tell you what my why is. And then like he still hasn't said it. What I'm getting is I want to help people. Like, I want to say the words to you that are going to make you join my team, basically. Anyway, you know what this sounds like to me? He's going to say it was God or divine intervention. You know what I think it is? I think that he was faced with a mental hurdle. We know that the truth is, and he even said it, he started doing this for money, but he didn't want to go out and say that. So what did he have to do? He was like, I either go out there, tell the truth, and no one joins me because like I just look like someone who's just doing shit for money, which he was. Self-admittedly, he was. Or I just make something up that sounds really good. And guys, we know this is the second video of his that we've watched on this channel. He is very, very good at tugging on emotions. Remember, like I was saying, the shirt ripping video, I wasn't sure if he was acting or if it was legitimate. And I gave him the benefit of the doubt that it was legitimate. If he's acting, like he's a pretty good actor, he just ripped his fucking shirt. Like that's commitment, man. But no, after watching it, like, no, it's very clearly an act. Listen, I don't see any real tears yet. I think real tears do come, but that tells me that this is, yeah, again, just an act. And even at one point too, he was like, I said everything I needed to say. What you needed to say to get people to join you? Please elaborate, dude. I feel like he met that hurdle and he was like, either I say stuff that sounds really, really good, even if it's not true, to get people to join me so I can make more money because that is my actual why, but I don't want anyone to know that's my actual why. Or I just tell him the truth and tell him my why is money and then probably won't get anyone to join me. So it's like he had to make a commitment right there. He's like, do I really want to do this or is this just not for me? Just like we say all the time, here's how you become successful in a multi-level marketing company. You have to get over a mental hurdle, and that mental hurdle is morality. You have to, within yourself, throw out any shred of empathy you have for other humans. You have to not give a shit about the people you're recruiting. You only care about their success as far as it will get you. And I think this was that moment for him. What he's describing is the moment when he made the personal decision to just not give a fuck anymore. And a lot of times when you just say, I just made the decision not to give a fuck anymore, in a lot of situations that's great. But in this situation, not giving a fuck means literally not caring about other people. So that's an issue. And I think that was what happened here. I think that was this moment for him.
14 from just that video. And I went back and I kind of went through my head and I was like, I remembered that saying, that God will reward you. My mind's so foggy right now, I can't even remember. Anyway, God will return to you, 4 times over, 4 times fold, whatever. I can't even remember the right words. I was like it just, man.
If God were a thing, which I don't believe that it is, he is, but whatever you believe is fine, whatever. I'm not trying to make you believe anything that I believe. I'm just saying, if there is a God, and it is the God of the Bible, the Christian Bible, that you and half of this country associates with, I'm gonna tell you right now, God would not reward what you just did. You went on there and you made up a story, in my opinion. He said he had no notes or whatever, but he was thinking about it all day, clearly. He said he was coming up with things to say that sounded good to get people to join him, and clearly he was successful with whatever it is he said, but it was manipulative language. It was a lie, because the day before he's like, my why is money. You don't just change the reason why you're in something like that for no reason. We all know you joined Paparazzi because you knew that there was money to be made. The God of the Bible doesn't like liars, he doesn't like manipulators, and he certainly doesn't like thieves. And I believe, is my personal opinion, that people, especially especially in paparazzi, but people in MLMs are literally thieves. Not that they like actually take money out of your pocket and put it into theirs. It's obviously a more roundabout way that they do it, but they know they're doing it. They know that that's what they have to do, especially in paparazzi, because like I was saying, the way that he makes his money is his downline spending money. That's how he gets the bulk of his paychecks. And he knows that. It doesn't matter if they actually go and sell it. It doesn't matter. He got his money already. He doesn't care. I just fail to see how you could think that like this is something that the God of the Christian Bible would be rewarding you for. I see nothing worth rewarding here.
It was really moving to me. And that day, single-handedly, like I said, it really did change me. But, you know, I wanted to tell you that, and I had a little story that I wrote that I wanted to read to you, but I don't know by heart. It's a long story. But that's all right.
See, that might have been God intervening. Because he's like, hey, no one wants to hear your long-ass story that you wrote.
But I do want to kind of open up about some things in my past, about some struggles that I have had, about some things that I have went through that, oh God, you know, that maybe you can relate to. Maybe
here comes the manipulation.
Watching me can relate to it.
This is where the emotional manipulation comes in. It's about to get real gross. So I'm gonna say right now, trigger warning. If you can't handle self-harm, I guess, or anything beyond that, please don't watch the rest of this, I guess. Yeah, it's about to get absolutely infuriating.
Over 2 years ago, now, just a little over 2 years ago, I fell into a very, very, very dark place. I was miserable. Miserable in my life for quite some time. But it's impossible to tell you my story without telling you my story. All of it.
Listen, hold on real quick. You can definitely tell your story without manipulating people. Like, that's literally what he's doing here. I mean, you can keep things private, dude. You don't have to go spill this extremely personal story to people, if it even happened at all. Listen, I don't want to be like doubtful of him having these thoughts and these issues, but like knowing what I know about him that I've heard through the paparazzi grapevine and then also seeing him ripping his shirt and shit and trying to get some sort of sympathy that way, I'm like, is it really as bad as he's trying to make it out to be, or is he using this story to appeal to some people who might be sensitive to this stuff and be like, wow, I felt the same way. If he could do it, if he could join paparazzi and make millions of dollars, then I can too, because look, we were both depressed. Oh my God, no, it's not like that. But he's trying to relate to people in that way.
I was so low that, and I really hope that somebody needs to hear this, because this is not me to tell you this like this. Because through all of this battle, I remained silent. And it seems crazy for me just to bring it up now, you know, but I really felt like I needed to. I'm being very vulnerable, so just bear with me. I was at a place where I wanted to take my own.
Pop-Tart?
I was at a place where I wanted to take my own life. And I always wondered growing up, like, how does someone get there? How does someone get so mentally bound down that they would want to kill themselves?
Despite what he just said and the way he said it, there's still no real tears dripping down his face. I think, you know, he squeezed a little open out just a little bit. And they're kind of in the corners of his eyes a little bit. But if you're really being as vulnerable as he wants you to believe he is, like, and you know, we don't all react to things like this the same way, but wouldn't you have been like either hesitant to even say this, because clearly he wasn't. I think he had this in his mind that he was going to talk about. Kind of have to mentally prepare yourself for this shit. If you're sitting in front of the camera at that moment on live, like trying to battle with yourself about whether to say this or not, blah blah blah, like when you would not be this composed. I guess maybe I'm just really emotional about things. So if it were me and I was telling people every time I've ever been vulnerable with people about my struggles, like I'm sobbing. And I understand not everyone's as emotional, but like it just screams fake emotion to me, and that's manipulative.
I contemplated giving up paparazzi.
That is his life.
Yes, sir.
Oh my god. The way he said that, like it was the worst thing he could have given up. He just got done telling people that he was gonna unalive himself, or he wanted to unalive himself. Oh, there is a tear dripping out of his eye now. Wow, about time. He just got done saying some of the most vulnerable shit that like any human goes through, and admitting this kind of stuff is really, really hard. He just got done saying all that, and he's like, oh, and you'll never believe this, and I was gonna give up paparazzi. Just the way he said it, it just like, it almost sounds like he puts it above his life. He's like, yeah, I was gonna unalive myself, but quitting paparazzi?
I'd called Terry one night. I was in the bathtub. And I had filled it up with water. And I'd called her, and I had just told her I can't do it anymore. Like, I can't, and I wanted to talk to somebody, but I just can't do it anymore. I can't live this way. I'm miserable and I'm stuck. I'm trapped and I can't leave. And I just can't. Like, I would rather work 5 jobs and be happy.
Not 5
than to have
jobs.
one and be miserable.
Oh, no.
And make all the money in the world. I can't.
So he's admitting that he is miserable with paparazzi? Because he literally just said, like, I would rather work 5 jobs and be happy than make all the money in the world and be miserable. Referring to his income, referring to his job, or whatever you'd call this, his line of work, I suppose. Why was paparazzi making you so depressed? And then, if paparazzi were the source of these feelings, or were the catalyst, I guess, I don't know, why do you want other people to join then? He's basically like, I was gonna quit paparazzi because I was so unhappy that I would have rather worked 5 jobs. Anyway, join my team. Like, what? I'm sorry. Like, I feel like some people are going to get mad at me and be like, oh my god, Savannah, you're so heartless. Oh my god, this guy is so vulnerable and he's I don't believe it. If he's being truthful, sorry. But like, I don't believe this. I think it's an act. I really do.
And just my circumstances in my life and where I was, I just was unhappy. Very, very unhappy. But on that phone call that night, I told her everything. She had an idea. I was very good at hiding it. I'd become very good at playing a Oscar-winning performance, so I say.
Yeah, we know you're very good at that. Thank you. I mean, he even admits it, dude. He admits that he's good at giving Oscar-winning performances. So what is this? And what was the shirt ripping and the face paint in the last video we did of this guy? What was that? Another Oscar-winning performance? Is that what that was? Because I had a lot of comments in the last video literally saying the same thing. Like, this is an Oscar-winning performance. I think the same thing about this video, and I feel like this is a self-report here, what he just said.
So, I mean, I just told her everything that was happening, but she kind of had a feeling that something was wrong, but I don't think she knew nearly the extent. Like I said, I was skin and bones. But she really helped me that day in a way that she probably doesn't even know she helped me, because she saved my life. She saved my life that day, and I'm gonna tell you, if not for scrolling Facebook that day and seeing her live, I wouldn't have ever called Terry because I didn't know her like that.
But what you're leaving out is that perhaps your life would be totally different if you had never seen her live and had never joined Paparazzi, dude. You could be in a much happier place in your life and you would never know because this is the path you chose. But he's just like, oh my god, Paparazzi, me being in Paparazzi saved my life. How dramatic, dude. It's honestly just sickening, dude. Like, I don't know. See, I know I just like apologized and I was like, you know, I could be wrong and some people are gonna say, no, like after hearing him say that, I'm like, this is clearly an act. You guys, there's like a 0.0001% chance that he's being truthful and honest and vulnerable here. But I don't think that that's the case. I think this is all manipulation. I'm not saying that he's making up this story. I believe that he certainly was in an unhappy place. But to say that Paparazzi saved his life because the person he decided to call when he was thinking about unaliving himself was his upline. Oh my god, you would have called someone else, dude. Like, who would you have been close to had you taken another route, you know? If you had chosen another path in life, you would have called someone else. And they probably would have helped you the same way. Like, of course, like, if you're going to call someone and be like, I'm thinking about unaliving myself, most people would be like, hey, don't do that. Stay on the phone with me. Don't do that. So, like, I think he's giving his upline more credit than she deserves. And I think that he's just doing this to be like, hey, if you're depressed, join Paparazzi. You won't be depressed anymore.
But she become my friend through this thing called Paparazzi. And she saved my life. She didn't know it, but she did. I don't think I've ever told her that. I don't think I've ever told her that. And I know she's listening right now, and I don't think she ever knew. But I got out. I found the strength somewhere. Somewhere. Oh gosh. What she told me that day, like, you're not giving up. You're not quitting Paparazzi. You're not walking away. You're not doing any of that. You've got to fight. You've got to fight. You've got to find that strength somewhere in you. And I know it's in you, but you just got to find it. And so, I did. I did. And I'm going to tell you, Terry, Erica Cole,
my uplines.
There's some people I can't even name because I just can't. I don't feel that they want me to.
If they're involved in actually saving your life, why wouldn't they want to be, like, named? You're making a hero out of your uplines right now. He's just like, oh, people probably wouldn't want to be named in being a hero of mine who actually helped me save my life. Like, what? What are you talking about, dude?
There are so many people. I should have just never even started naming, but there's so many people that helped me survive.
And they were all in Paparazzi.
Whether they knew it, whether they didn't, whether they thought they were helping me in another way, but they helped. And they know who they are. And I will forever know and forever be in debt to them. Because they helped me to just survive. They were there to help me mentally calm myself down. And I would have never known these people if it was not for Paparazzi. Every single person who was there for me in my lowest place in my life, I found through Paparazzi.
You guys, the way he talked about this made it sound like Paparazzi was part of the reason he felt that way. Sir, maybe you wouldn't have needed to reach out for help saving your life if you had never joined Paparazzi in the first place. How about that? Shocking to think about that, I know. It's just ridiculous. It is so sickening the way he's twisting this. Even if he is telling the truth about what happened, he's still twisting this to make it become the narrative that he wants. And that narrative is, Paparazzi saved my life. It's sick. It's really, really gross.
They were my best friends because of Paparazzi. And so am I grateful to paparazzi? Yes, absolutely. You may sit here and go, you know what? Why are you sitting here crying? You're talking about a jewelry company. It's a job. Let me tell you something. This is so much more than $5 jewelry. I don't even know. Like, I wish I could say that so loud it slapped you in the face. This is so much bigger than $5 jewelry. It is so much more.
They all
than
say
that to me. So much. And to so many people. Like, so many people. I can't even describe to you. Not only has how paparazzi has absolutely 100 and 1,000, 1,000,000% changed my life, but it also saved my life.
He fucking said it. He fucking said it, dude. No more beating around the bush. He just straight up said it. Oh my God. And, you know, for him being where he's at, having made all this money and changed his life with paparazzi, he's got 5,300 people beneath him, and maybe a very small handful of them can say something similar, like, oh yeah, I'm making more money with paparazzi now, wow, that's great. But what about the rest of them? The rest of them are probably more in debt than they were before. And it just goes back to, like, why would you say that this is God? Like, you really think that God is going to just, like, throw 5,300 people in your downline to lose money just so you can... What are you, the chosen child of God? Why do you think you're more important than those 5,300 people beneath you? I guarantee God didn't put him there. Just the way he's talking about this, like, he would want you to believe that. Oh yeah, God would not do that. The God of the Christian Bible, in the New Testament anyway, would not sacrifice 5,300 of his children just so one of his other children can thrive. No, and even then, like, wouldn't God be able to just snap his fingers and then everyone could thrive?
If I had never come across that, I don't know where I would be. I may not be here. And I do mean that in more than one sense.
You definitely wouldn't.
But I got out. And when I left, I had nothing. I didn't have a bed. I didn't have a mattress. I didn't have a pillow. I didn't even have a chair to sit in that wasn't an office chair. I didn't have a spoon. I didn't have a bowl. I didn't have a washer.
We get it. You had nothing.
I didn't have anything.
We get it.
And I didn't even have any money.
But you had so much paparazzi inventory, allegedly. And isn't that money in and of itself? Just sell it. It's so easy, isn't it? Isn't that how you got so rich? Selling $5 jewelry, that's how you got where you are, right? Spoiler alert, that's not where these people get their money.
I had jewelry. I had jewelry. That time couldn't go live. I just could not. I could not mentally handle it. That's where my team saved me too.
Oh God.
They showed up when I couldn't, and they were there for me when I couldn't be there for them.
Okay, here's the other thing too, because I know that this dude comes from a religious family and he talks about God all the time, so he's probably still super religious. Do you go to church? I'm just confused because, like, people who go to church, like, usually have a big network of other churchgoers to rely on, and I don't know, like, if you needed help with anything. With someone who's so religious, it's either, are you fake religious and you, like, just never go to church, or was it really that bad? Because it sounds to me like if you had a church, that would be, like, the first place to go to ask for help for something, and I can't imagine a church turning away one of its cult members, excuse me, I'm sorry, congregation churchgoer people.
I went to, the furniture store, and I'd bought me a bed. So I had a bed.
Oh, so you did have money then. He just got done saying that he didn't have money. Well, how'd you buy a bed? You must have had something. Or did you sell all your jewelry? Or does IKEA take paparazzi jewelry for payment? I didn't know that. Damn.
Went to the store, and because I think I only had like $300 in my possession.
Okay, that's money, dude.
I went and bought me an air mattress because that was all I could afford.
Yeah.
Here I was, a Maven A-lister. And I had nothing.
Exactly. Okay, so this goes back to like even the people, even the top 1%, even a lot of them aren't making a livable wage. He's sitting here like, I was a Maven A-lister, which I believe is pretty high up there, and he's saying it like, oh, I should have had money, but I just didn't. Okay, so I think that just kind of is another self-report that's like, even if you make it into the top 1%, that still might not be enough, because like he admitted, he's in the top 1/10 of 1%.
None of that is going to ever make you happy. And I learned a big lesson, and I learned a lot of lessons in that whole experience. You know, I definitely learned. I'm thankful for all the lessons that I learned, but I just hate the heartache that I had to endure to learn them.
That's life, brother.
But through that time, like, I went through a really, really, really dark place. You guys didn't see me for a long time. I didn't go live. I truly went through a legit mental breakdown. When I say that, I don't say it lightly. Some of the stuff, I don't even know if I'm gonna regret saying it. But I'm just gonna say it.
You don't have to, dude.
I was in such a low place that getting up to throw this bottle in the garbage can was too big a chore.
That's called depression.
I didn't shower for almost 2 weeks.
That's also depression.
That's hard. That's really hard for me to say. I couldn't mentally handle it. I just couldn't. And I was in a very dark place. Good Lord. The lies and the rumors and the slander and the never ending just.
And where was all that slander and lies coming from? Where was that coming from? Oh, that's right, from other people in Paparazzi. Everything I know about this guy comes from people who have left Paparazzi, dude. This dude is one of the reasons why I know that Paparazzi is like closer to high school or middle school than basically any other MLM. If you even have a thought that you might regret saying what you're about to say, you don't have to say it, especially on Facebook in front of, let's see, this has 618 views, which isn't a lot for him. How many followers does he have? 20,000 followers and only 600 views? Yikes. That is a really low engagement. But anyway.
I couldn't bear the thought of knowing what so many people would now think of me because of the words of others. All because I made a decision to choose me, to choose happy, to choose to survive. But I had to take that time. I had to heal.
I don't think anyone would be mad at anyone else for choosing happiness and all that, as long as that action means not hurting anyone else, making the world better for the people around you and also for yourself. That's a great thing, and I feel like you'd have a lot of support, buddy. Like, you weren't getting slander and shit for no reason. Then if it was true, it wasn't slander. He's acting like all surprised, like, oh, people just didn't want to see me happy. No, I think people just didn't like the way you tried to achieve personal happiness.
It's okay to get down. It's okay to be down. But
you can't drag other people down with you.
Stay there. Get up, dust yourself off.
Oh my God.
And keep going. And I just came to a place where I just realized that, you know what, I really need to heed my own freaking advice. That's hard to do sometimes. And so, you know, that's just kind of where I was. And then, you know, to fast forward, it wasn't until really convention this year. That's why this is so fresh and heavy on my heart now, is because it's recent. It wasn't until convention this year when I really felt that complete healing, when I finally felt that spark of joy again.
You know, you've been to a lot of other paparazzi conventions in your time in the company. Why was it different this time? Was it Carrie Underwood? It was Carrie Underwood, wasn't it? That's what it was, right? That was what was special about this one. And let's be honest, you couldn't have felt this way about the last convention last year because, you know, over 20 people died from going to it. So, like, you couldn't have said that then. Yeah, it must have been Carrie Underwood.
It wasn't until convention this year that I just finally, and it may not even be nothing to do with convention, convention. It's just, you know, it just, you know, surrounding yourself with so many amazing, inspiring people that just fill you with just so much energy and inspiration and motivation, and just, gosh, it's just amazing, the love you feel.
It's conditional, by the way.
It was just like the last little piece, and I just felt, man, I felt it, and it was all at once. But I won't go into detail, but I just got a confirmation that I needed.
Dude, you went into detail about like literally everything else, but now when you're talking about like what it was that really sealed your happiness at convention, no, I'm not gonna go into detail, dude.
Oh gosh, it was everything, because I finally felt my desire again. I finally felt everything I'd been missing. I finally felt the joy that I had fought so hard for. I had finally felt it again, and I was excited, and I had seen like a whole new, I don't know, it was just crazy.
Carrie Underwood.
But I finally felt that spark again.
Has that effect on people?
About songs that inspire him. And I think one of his favorite songs that he really loves is called A Million Dreams. He loves the Greatest Showman songs, and I love that song.
The most basic,
and
inspirational
man, it really
music
speaks to me. I just would jam out on that thing, just kind of going along with that song. You know, I have dreams. Okay, why Paparazzi? What is your why? Okay, well,
are you finally going to tell us?
I really want to help people. Like, I really do. I want to be that individual that can truly help.
Then get out of paparazzi and go back into nursing, dude.
Not just say, oh, well, I like helping people. No, I really do. Like, I made a post on my team page this morning asking my team to tell me their dream. You know, people talk about what their dream is. It's amazing, because I'm gonna tell you this, it's gonna be even better watching them achieve what they thought was just a dream.
You mean 0.1% of them making it? What is that, like 2 people in your downline? Wow. So you're willing to help 2 people at the expense of 5,298 other people. That's what it sounds like to me. Just a thought.
Look at all these people. Look at these people. Look at 5,300 people over there. Like, look how many of them's lives are totally different than what they were. Some of them were single moms. Some of them were teachers. Some of them were clerks. Some of them were servers. Some of them were everything. There's people that's in this company that's been homeless. You know, there is so many things, you know, and I want to be that person to go to somebody and offer them opportunity that can truly change their life. I want to be that person that can actually make a difference in that mom, in that father, in that grandmother, in that single parent.
At the expense of thousands of others.
In that gas station clerk's life. I want to be that person that can talk to that dad or that mom or that aunt or whoever it is, you know, that I'm talking to. I want to be the person that can talk to them. And actually, you know, because, you know, they're in a situation where I was, where they only have enough money just to make ends meet. And sometimes that's just not enough. And they're already on food stamps. Like, I want to be the person who can offer something that will possibly change someone's life like it has changed mine and so many other people. I want to be that person. I do. I want to help people. And when I say I want to help people, that's what I mean. It's not the generic, oh, I want to help people. I want to help people. I will tell you, this company, like I said, it's changed my life, but it's saved my life. And I do mean that. And it has so much more definition than what I've even told you. You just don't know. It has. But I have dreams. That's one of my dreams. That's one of my whys. One of my other dreams, and I know I've said it live before, Justin and I want children. I've always wanted children. But, you know, that looks a little different for me. It looks a little different for us. And unfortunately, you can't just go out and just, you know, pick one, you know.
I'm I mean, especially in the state of this country right now. He lives in the South, dude. I can't imagine that it's that easy for a gay couple in the South to adopt a kid. Don't know why. Why could that be? I don't know.
And in my position, that is quite a lot of money. Whether it be adoption, whether it be surrogacy, whether it be whatever. That's a lot. Look up those figures. So if you want to know why I love what I do, it's because it helps give me hope. No, I'm not there yet. No, I don't have all my dreams yet. No, I don't have a child yet. But I can see it's possible. I can see I'm working toward it. I can see that now because of this amazing opportunity that I have been now a part of, it has changed my life so much, and it definitely dramatically and financially, that guess what? I'm able, I'm able to see, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna be able to do this. Like, I'm gonna be able to. So, I know that it is not impossible anymore, and I know that it is not going to be forever, and I know that it is not going to take me till I'm 50 years old. I know it.
Guys, this is getting really repetitive. So again, I just want to reiterate, I'm probably cutting a lot of this out because he just keeps saying the same thing over and over again, but the context is still there.
Paparazzi gives, oh gosh, it don't just give hope. It gives me a family. Oh my gosh, we are like one big family. But it gives me a family It brings me joy. It gives me confidence. I used to be terrible at public speaking. I never in my wildest dreams thought I would be over here leading a team of freaking 5,300 people. I'm like, what? I didn't know I had the ability to do that. I didn't really see myself as a leader, but it's given me the confidence because it's shown me that I am so much more than what I thought I was, that I am so much more than I give my credit self for. And that, God made me to be so much greater than all the limits that I put on myself.
God would have never wanted you to become a scammer. I mean, maybe, you know what? If it is his will, then maybe he did make you to be a scammer and make you believe that you are helping people for your whole life, but really you're just harming people.
And so he gave me this opportunity to show me what I'm made of, what he made me of.
No. Stop.
It's brought me to places and put me in positions where I have met some of the most amazing people that I now call my absolute best friends. And
he's reading off a script or notes, but they must be very specific notes because he was just looking down at them for a long time, just straight up reading a whole sentence. It's almost like this was all planned. Wow. Shocking.
We ain't even sitting here talking about jewelry anymore. We're talking about something completely different. This is so much more.
It's a cult.
It is. It's completely different than anything I've ever been a part of. But it's given me people that have truly saved my life. Like I said, and I didn't do all this video to sit here and try to get you to join Paparazzi.
Then why would you do it on your personal profile? If you're family is paparazzi, share this story with them in a private group. Why do you have to do this on your public Facebook? It's almost like you want people to hear your story and go, I want to be like him, and then join paparazzi. I don't know. I call bullshit. That's just my opinion, but
Now, if you think that this is something that you want to do, listen, you can. You can. I'm here all the time. If I'm not sitting here saying that it's going to change your life. I'm not sitting here saying that it's going to do everything for you that it did for me. I'm not saying that.
But you're suggesting.
Then it ain't no two people alike. Listen, I have no idea what your journey is going to be. If you decide to do something like this, if you decide to if you decide to get into this, I don't know what your journey is going to be. God only knows that. I'm just say that right now. But I'm gonna tell you what. I'll tell you this I know. We have fun. We love each other. We love spending time together.
Until one of them leaves, right? Then they're excommunicated and you never talk to them again.
We feed each off of each other's excitement. And it truly is.
Yeah, because it's a cult.
a community.
It's
it
a cult.
truly is a family, and that is like one of the most special things ever. So, you know, if I'm gonna sit here and talk about all of it, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and say, if you do want to, or think you ever do want to join, or if you just have questions about it and you just want to know more, like you're like, I don't, you know, I'm not saying anything yet, but I just want you to tell me a little bit more about it, so I'm kind of a little more educated and kind of can make a more educated decision.
If you want to do that, watch an anti-MLM video too. Do not go to this dude who has money to gain off of you joining, because he will make money if you join underneath him.
I'm here all the time. But you can message me. And if you think you want to know something, or if you don't want to use Messenger, you can email me. If you think you just want to talk about it, you just need somebody to talk to, just message me.
Yeah, and then you're gonna be on his radar, and then he won't leave you alone until you join. He's gonna be like, oh no, I just want to inform you so that you make an informed decision. That's it. No, once they're on your radar, you're going to message them back and be like, have you thought more about joining Paparazzi? Have you thought more about the opportunity? Like, really? You're gonna tell me that they're not gonna be on your radar after that, and you're not gonna be trying to recruit them time after time after time? Come on.
I cannot believe that $99 changed my life like it did. I just can't believe it. And it was just so much to even scrape together that $99. So if that's you, oh God, I get it. But you truly never know. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't not a darn different than anybody else. There's nothing at all that makes me more special. I told you, like, when I first joined, that I just sit here and spill my guts to you about all the stuff I wasn't good at, all the stuff I didn't know, and all the stuff I was scared to death of. I guess that's really all I had to say. I didn't really plan a whole lot of this.
Except for the notes in your lap.
But I will say this. Okay. Paparazzi has a mission statement. And I'm pretty darn sure I want to end with that. So, but before I do, like I said, if you want to talk to me, if you need me, if you think you want to even do this with me, like for real, anything.
Yeah, we know for real.
Message me. Listen, if you've been thinking about joining Paparazzi and you were like, oh my gosh, this is all I needed, like I'm just gonna do it. My website to join is in the description, the description of the video. If you want to see the earning potentials of consultants, that's there too.
See, this was clearly, this whole time, a recruitment tactic. None of this was genuine. He would argue and say that it is, but based on what I've seen of this guy, I don't think that any of this is genuine. I think this is how he ended up with a team of 5,300 people. Just a thought.
If you really want to know how much Paparazzi changed my life, you look at that income disclosure statement and look out beside Jet Setter and see lowest paid amount for a Jet Setter. And you know that even at my lowest amount, this is what it is. You'll be able to see how much Paparazzi has financially changed my life.
Do you want to know how much money I make with Paparazzi? Like, this basically is an income claim in and of itself. I mean, I feel like it is. If you can look at an income disclosure statement and be like, the lowest number on there, I make even more than that. It's like, okay, basically you're still, here we are, setting unrealistic expectations. They love to do this shit.
But I will end with this statement, and that's the Paparazzi mission statement. It rings true. I absolutely love this mission statement. But it says, well, I'm just going to say the last part of it. It says that, paparazzi may not change the world, but we believe that those who wear it will. Well, I'll leave you with this. I wear it, and I will, one day at a time. Y'all have a good night.
Oh my god, at this point, I'm like, I'm sorry I put y'all through that. That was intense, but also extremely frustrating because I'm feeling like I just watched an actor, You might feel differently, and if you do, you're definitely leaving me angry comments right now, but hey, that helps the engagement, so that's fine. If you do agree with me, leave me a comment too. I don't know, just let me know. What do you think of all this? I can guess what 99% of you guys are gonna say, and I think you're gonna pretty much agree with me. But there's always those few that are like, I think he's genuine. I really don't. Yeah, let me know down below what you think. And now it's time to thank people. Let's get into some more happy stuff. Guys, the list of people I'm about to name off are my financial supporters. They get access to things like our private Discord server. There's a postcard club. You'll get early access to videos. They'll get early access to this video. If any of that sounds good to you, you can go to patreon.com/Savannah Marie, or you can click the join button beneath this video to join my YouTube memberships. Whatever platform you want to join on is fine by me. And with that, the biggest thank you in the whole wide world goes to Hula Chowdown, Janelle Pratt, Amanda Shannon, Cecilia Dudick, Christy Taylor, Deidre Lindsay, Elizabeth Wyatt, Eve Blondo, Nitty Dragon, Leanne, Meredith Nakata, Ryamu, Sheila Tapia, Alice W., Amanda Shannon, Boris Geller, Caroline Reed, Casey Scraper, Daniel Urena, Hannah Morrison, Hanimal Crossing, Heidi Haw, Julia Wheeler, Kim Cartwright, Maddie Darley, Marley Fletcher, Ray, Tuesday the 13th, Natalie Scott, Carol Jenks, Colin F., Mira S.I.K., Vegan Chicky Nuggy, Martine Hubert, The Best Elephant, Jessica Billhart, Laura Jensen, Mitchie84, Jess Cronfeld, Emion, Auntie Lou, Little Birdie, and Fallon Lowry. And to the rest of my fabulous supporters, thank you so much for being here and being you. Even if you're not a financial supporter, thanks for being here at the end of this video. YouTube loves watch time, and I know this one's a long one, so thanks for still being here after all of that. Keep making waves, babes, and I'll smell you all later. Mummy to nummy, out. Oh, and Pop-Tart too, look at her. Bye.